Hey everybody, Yankee here. You know, something that a lot of people have been very happy about over the last few days and that they see as good news is that the state of California has been adding some guns to the approved handgun roster. They've been adding new models like the SIG P365 and some others. They haven't done that much in recent years, but recently they've been making some additions. And a lot of people are happy, especially people who want things like the P365 but live in California and up until now haven't been able to have it. Now, first off, the roster itself is supposed to be a roster of guns that meet certain safety standards. It's supposed to be about protecting people from their own negligence, but we all know that's not what it's about. It's about denying the people in California the right to have access to modern firearms. That's what it's all about. Some people might say, well, it originally started off as a safety measure. No, it was never a safety measure. That was a smokescreen. It was from the very beginning, by design, meant to be a list that they could create to prevent manufacturers from being able to freely sell their product in the state of California. They just pretended it was about safety to get it passed. That's how they do. They get it in one way, and then they change it until it's just totally an anti-gun scheme, which is what the roster has been. I mean, they require micro-stamping. That doesn't even exist. That's not even a real technology, but they require it for new guns. It's ridiculous. And also, it's a racketeering scheme because not only do they charge manufacturers to test their guns and say, okay, yes, this model is safe, then they have to pay every year to keep that gun safe. If they stop paying, well, then suddenly it's no longer safe and it's off the list. So it is about control. It's about denying people access to firearms, and it's about a racketeering scheme to get money from the gun manufacturers. And I'd like to see where that money goes, but that's beside the point, I guess. But like I said, recently they've been adding some new model guns, and a lot of people are very excited about it because they think it's very good news. And I agree, it is good that some people are getting access to these guns now. But I think it's good news in another way that a lot of people aren't mentioning, and I want to talk about that. But first, I want to make a quick commercial here and remind everyone we're doing Toy Guns for Tots. So if you want to help support Toy Guns for Tots 2023, you've got, 9 more days to donate. You go over to TYMPpistolproject.com. There's a link in the upper corner of this video, and you can either donate directly or you can buy merchandise from the Toy Guns for Tots store. If you donate directly and you give $20 or more, for every $20 you get an entry into the big old black Glock giveaway at the end of the fundraiser. And if you buy certain merchandise in the store, you'll also get an entry with that, like the ornament and the t-shirts that have the I made donation to Toy Guns for Tots, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. And there's also a mug version of that. They both come with entries also. And those are so you can give them as a gift to another person. And they can know that in their honor, some child in need received the toy they wanted for Christmas. It's one of those like, we planted a tree in Israel, except you actually helped a kid here in this country when you do it. So remember, Toy Guns for Tots, help support it. Also, I added a new t-shirt today. I actually added two. If you remember, I was doing the gun line, and I added the Smith & Wesson t-shirt the other day, which a lot of people think is gross because he's got a pimple on the side. But that's the whole point of it. It's because a lot of people see that lock as kind of a pimple on the face of a really nice product, the Smith & Wesson revolvers. That was the whole point of it. It's supposed to be gross. It's supposed to point out that that ruins a really good gun. But today I added I think this is the third in the series of those gun-specific and gun manufacturer-specific illustrations. Unless you count the Doc Ock that I did the other day. The Doc Ock is not specifically a Glock. It's just kind of a parody. But that one's over there too. But the one we have added today, and there will be hopefully a link in the bottom corner. And there's a link up here to the store. And hopefully there'll be a little blurb in the bottom corner for this shirt. Is a Taurus design. And it is the new Taurus Judge Mental. And as you can see there, a very judgy Taurus saying, you call that a grouping? Honey, my manicurist can shoot better. Now, a lot of people might not like this one because they might think that's effeminate. But fuck them. I always say, people with their fragile masculinity. Good Lord, get over it. Be a man. But like I said, that's the newest addition to the shirts, the Taurus Judgmental. So go on over, purchase yourself an item. All the merchandise over there, except for stuff in the Toy Guns for Tots store, goes to support TYMP. Now, getting back to the topic, I want to talk about how this is good news, I think, them adding guns to the roster. Because not only is it, more models available to people who live in California, but it's a sign that they're scared. And they are scared right now. They are afraid that the roster is going to fall. It's facing challenges. In fact, there's some stuff on there that's going to be heard by the higher courts. And I believe it's in January 2024 that could just invalidate the list. But right now, one of the things they're afraid of is legal challenges that are using the grounds that say the list has been stagnant for years. It doesn't include any new technologies, doesn't include new models. So it is denying people in the state of California the right to access the same firearms that people in other states get to have access to. And they're really afraid that that argument is going to hold with the courts, because it will hold with the courts. It should hold with the courts. Under some of the cases, versus Bonta and under Bruin, this roster should be history very soon, legally speaking, as far as court standards are concerned, very soon. But they're afraid that's going to happen. So what they're trying to do, I think, this is just my opinion, take it for what it's worth, I think they're trying to build a defense. They're trying to add newer guns now to say, look, we add new guns all the time, and we just recently added these new guns. So I think it's a good sign in a way. I think it's them panicking because they think that the list itself, the scheme they got going, is indefensible in court. And they're trying to make it a little less indefensible. That's how I see this. So yes, it is good that some people in California are having access to these new guns that are being added. But I think it's also a good sign that the people in California, like Bonta and Newsom, know that the list is indefensible. And they're trying to, like I said, make it seem not as bad as it actually is, which, like I've said, it is really bad. It's a racketeering scheme against the manufacturers. It is just a way to keep guns out of the hands of people in the state of California, because the majority of people in California don't agree with dumbasses like Bonta and Newsom. They think they're too far left. So you can't let people that disagree with you be armed. That's not good for your, safety as far as keeping your power and continuing to live in your ivory tower above the peasants. So, you don't want the peasants to have anything more than pitchforks, or else when they storm the castle, there's going to be some trouble. So that's the whole point of the roster. And like I said, it is good that some people are getting access to some newer guns, but I think it's even better that this is a sign that they are panicking. They know this is a scheme that is on its last legs, and I can't wait till January to see what happens next. But what I really can't wait to see is the roster be gone forever completely.